Ready spaghetti.
Oh, okay. Love Jacko.
Welcome to the Hard Knocks Podcast. High above the city, they shine in my spotlight. Commissioner on the rooftop, double H in the night sky. For the sidekicks, we fight. For the right crosses, we go. For the ninjas, we injure, revenge on our foes. From crime alleys to radioactive insects, genetic mutations, Weapon X ejects are infinite. Earths are in crisis, our wars are civil but secret. Here come
Buddy.
Dillard Skillard.
Sheila.
blaring through your speakers. Yeah, totally heroes. It's clobbering time.
Welcome to Hardly Heroes, a podcast dedicated to movies, TV, and everything geek related. I'm your host, Buddy.
I'm Dillard Skillard.
And I'm Sheilah.
Who is Sheila? You mean Sheila Kapila? Shmee?
Shmee.
It's me, Shmee.
We got Shmee in the house.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us today, Shmee.
You're welcome.
To all you new listeners, if this is your first time, go to hardlyheroes.com. You can go to the About page and see all the people we're talking about, like Shmee, Dillard Skillard, everybody like that. So, so then you'll kind of know what we're talking about. Makes it a little bit easier. First things first, I know what you guys are thinking is, where's HTC? HTC is no longer going to be a host on the show. It's a lot of work being on this show, and he did amazing, did so many cool things for us, and we appreciate everything he did. It was like super cool having him on. Everything he did for the show was great, and he's still going to be a sidekick. He's still going to be around, so don't think he's disappearing forever. He's just not going to be a every week host. He'll probably come back on as a guest and all that kind of stuff, but I just wanted to say thanks for, making me love comics again.
Me too, man.
Because I feel like I've been, definitely reading more and helping out with the movie event and everything he helped with. And I mean, he'll always live on in the movie poster and go to
Shout
YouTube
out.
And watch the promo video
Forever
again.
eternalized on the poster.
Yeah, he was kind of like a sneak-in standout of that video.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was like hilarious in the comic book
Oh
shop.
my gosh.
Yeah.
It's so funny. He's just kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
He totally got me back in the comic book game.
Oh, dude.
From a long time ago. I'm like going to the comic book store now. I'm a regular at Empire. So
I was about to say, I think
you, HTC,
you're on a
man, for
saver
everything,
list
bro.
now, aren't you?
Soon to be.
Oh,
Soon to be.
snap.
I didn't pick it up because I couldn't get into the event that happened, so I might as well have just waited. But I'm definitely gonna hook that up for this upcoming year.
Yeah, so perfect. Yeah, so thanks for everything, HTC.
Love you, HTC.
From the Hardly Heroes. Yay! Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes
Meat potato.
of
Taters.
this show.
Tater.
I love taters.
Sorry.
Tater salad?
I kept telling Logan, I was like, can my nickname
Who
be
is Logan?
Groot?
Dad.
Tallest man on the
Thank
planet.
you.
I told him I wanted my nickname to be Tater, and he said I can't pick my nickname, so.
No, you can't. That's why we call you Shmee.
Is that
Or
what we're going with? Are we
Kapila.
going with? Is that a final thing? Is it Shmee, or can we evolve?
No.
Do we have time to maybe evolve something else?
I mean, we can definitely evolve. Shmee is a
Easy.
it's easy and it's very
It's a good default then. So
Right.
we'll default
You
to
definitely-
Shmee.
It's me. It's Shmee.
It's Shmee. Okay.
like from isn't it from Hook?
Captain Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Hook, but yeah.
Yeah,
He says
Shmee.
Shmee.
It's his
Yeah.
right hand man.
Yeah.
Shmee.
More like a sidekick.
Yeah,
like
I think
you're
he's
my
right-hand.
sidekick.
He's like the hand of the king. So
What are you saying? You're Peter Dinklage now?
he
pretty
bends the
much.
knee.
Okay. I guess so. I didn't.
yeah. Well, that's how important I am.
So I guess I am Jon Snow then?
Schnur?
Jon Snow. You know nothing,
You know
Jon
nothing, Jon
Snow.
Schnur. Okay, meat and potatoes.
Meat and taters. Do you guys want to do a full spoiler?
Yes.
Yeah, because
sure.
last week I got denied.
It was a
Said
little too
spoiler.
early, right? I mean, it's the week after. You kind of got to
you'd give some
gotta
time.
give some people some time that still
Yeah.
haven't got out there and seen it yet.
Well-
So really take it in, and you got to give it a little time. So we're all ready. So let's get into it.
Well, and what I think is crazy is it didn't even really dip in sales from opening week to the second week. So as of right now, it's at 2.2 million Or no, billion. Sorry.
2.2 skillion.
Yeah. A skillard skillion.
That's a lot.
So it beat out Titanic, which Titanic was 2.1. And so it's coming for Avengers Endgame is coming for Avatar. And Avatar's at 2.7.
Oh, it's done. It's a done deal. It's a wrap.
I mean, think about it. This will be its third week in the box office.
And the numbers that you're saying for Avatar, that's like total or just like their first few?
Of all time, of worldwide gross.
Oh, okay. So yeah, def.
Yeah, it's...
The only thing that is coming out this weekend, actually it comes out today, is Pokemon, the detective.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which I don't think is going to hurt their numbers, but
no.
I still think I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah, I'm about to see it a 3rd time for show.
I could do a third. Yeah.
Well, so we're going to be spoiling it. So if you haven't seen it, I don't even know why you listen to the show.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Plug your ears for a minute if you haven't seen it.
Pause it, go watch it, and come back.
Get a snack.
Go to the movie theater.
Get some popcorn. Coke Icy preferred.
Coke Icy 100%. You didn't get a Coke Icy the second Endgame.
No, he didn't.
I got a Coke Icy and I looked over. You had a beer, no Coke Icy.
Well, because Michelle dropped the ball. My wife did not give me a Coke Icy. She got me a beer.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's nice.
Hey.
Michelle.
But
that's
if you know me, it's popcorn and a Coke Icy.
I honestly almost got you an Icy.
Oh, that would have been so good.
But I was like, I'm sure he has one already. And then, nope.
Because it couldn't leave.
That's true.
Because that's your deal, right? You always have to have the pop and the
pop and the Icy.
Well, when I went this 3rd time, I'm going to say it. So Michelle and I went a 3rd time. She's like, I want to go see it again. I was like, cool. So it's the day before it was Saturday and we were looking for tickets for Sunday. She's like, ooh, 10:30. That'll be perfect. Pretty much sold out, all crap seats, just the front. And she's like, you got to be kidding me. And I was like, there's a 7:30 show. And she's like, I'm not going then. She looked at 2 and it was like sold out. I'm like, look at the 7:30.
Was it 7:30
a.m.? And so she's like, I'm not going. And then we found like 2 really good seats at 7:30. She's like, fine. So we went. She had her Hardly Heroes blankie.
Oh, cute.
And I got popcorn and a Coke Icy. And Michelle snuck in her coffee.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're in there. But at 7:30, we got out. And you know what? We got out at 11. Yeah. So we got out at like 11. And it was perfect. And she was like, actually, that was really cool. But she couldn't believe that the theater was packed at 7:30 in the morning.
Was it really?
Oh, dude, it was crazy. There wasn't, besides maybe the front 2 rows, like sporadically, but all the rest of the seats were full.
That actually sounds kind of nice. Crazy. Like get up early, bring a blankie, have some coffee, snuggle up.
Yeah, because
your Starbucks in.
Totally.
You know.
Yeah. You think about it like...
Scramble.
A little
skillet.
Breakfast burritos. Dude, just do breakfast burritos.
Dude,
like in
totally
tinfoil.
Oh, like forget sneaking in candy and like stuff like that. You're taking full on breakfast in there.
Yeah.
Ooh, breakfast burrito. Have a little bottle of like Tapatio.
Or
Cholula.
Ooh, a friend of mine calls it Tapatio.
Tapatio.
Like it's not Tapatio, bro. Like
that's like lettuce.
Right.
Is that a lettuce?
That's so wrong.
That's what
lettuce.
Lettuce.
You're acting really obtuse. So I went and saw it a 3rd time, and we'll get later into it. I'll tell you something that I saw that I did not see the first 2 times. So let's start up from the beginning. I know we're not good about that. We usually jump around.
Mm-hmm.
So opening scene with Hawkeye really threw me right back into the movie.
I was like confused. I didn't even know the movie had like started.
Well, they usually do
like,
that Marvel scroll.
There's the
previews
was, and then it's you see Hawkeye, right?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I guess this is it.
That was really
rough.
That was really rough to see.
Yeah.
Well, and
because also we didn't see him disappear. All of a sudden they were just like gone, and I was like, ah.
Well, and especially like him, there's nothing else around but his family, so he's just kind of like,
like what happened?
Yeah, what's going on? And like hearing, like he starts just calling everybody out, and nobody's there.
Yeah.
It's not like one of them survived. Like none of them did.
Yeah. And it was real because he was like, at one point he starts running and then he like stops.
And
he runs and it's like, man, where are you going? Like,
he was
they're
like,
not. They're gone. That kind of got it for me. It's like the panic of where's
totally,
my family
the confusion.
at?
Like where the hell?
Well, and at first you kind of see him like, oh, his daughter's joking around or something. And he's like, wait, like doesn't hear anything. Like that was crazy. And then they go into the whole Marvel, like scroll that they do, which was cool. And then it throws you just right back into pretty much.
Where did it go from there?
So from there, you meet up with Captain America and all them trying to figure out.
His group little meeting, right?
No, you go to Iron Man, I thought.
Oh, up in space.
Yeah.
That's true.
Then you go to Iron Man where he's talking to Pepper Potts.
Yeah, he's recording the message from the helmet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right, and he's with Nebula.
He's with Nebula.
Right. And then and then they kind of save him.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool. It was kind of cool because it was the beginning of the movie, so you're like, oh, okay, like, but the bad part is you already knew he was going to be saved, right. So you were like, oh, well, something's going to happen. And you're like, oh, that's how they brought in Captain Marvel.
Right.
But then when he gets back with everybody and that scene where he's like super skinny and he just kind of throws the whatever he's eating and rips off the arc reactor and he's like, here, put this on and hide. I was like, oh, like.
Yeah, that was like, and then he just falls out. Like,
yeah,
damn.
For a Marvel movie, I know him and Cap have had history since Civil War. But that was probably the biggest, like...
Oh, and he really got deep with it. Like, he was like, you weren't there.
Yeah, like,
you
like
totally
liar,
failed me, right? Like, that was super deep, I felt like.
And what else was crazy, I was going to talk about that a little beforehand, of just really, like, digging in the emotional depth of it, where he gets off, the first thing he sees Cap is he's like, I lost the kid.
Oh my God. And, yes, I remember.
And Cap's just like, no, dude, we all lost.
I know, but that was sad.
You know what I mean? And like, and he hadn't magnetized how big it was yet.
Right.
And then when he figures it out in that room, it gets really crazy.
Right, because I guess that's kind of true. Like, Iron Man didn't really know
the extent.
Right, like who was gone, because he was on space and then he was just lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of like, they really like hit home and like really made you feel like bad and down and out. And then when you kind of see that Captain Marvel like kind of spikes him up of being like, all right, we got this. We found out where he is. Everybody's back to that Avengers kind of
Let's get him. Let's do it.
And you see Thor, he's like ready to go. And then they immediately find him and he looks tore up.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like whatever. So then don't know why I keep going like scene by scene, but the lop off. Yeah. Did any of you see that coming?
No, I was like, oh my.
There's no way I thought they were going to kill Thanos within the first whatever
10 minutes.
Yeah, I was just like, oh shit, he's dead. Where the hell do they go now?
Right. Yeah, I'm like, just kind of caught off guard. Yeah,
like what's this movie going to be about? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so I was like, and I loved. They played it perfectly. I feel with Thor of being like. I went for the head because he's like obsessed with it. Yeah, kind of. Like he's so caught up in his emotion. Yeah, of being like, I didn't just fail like Earth. He failed Asgard. Right. He failed, the Avengers. Like, right.
Yeah, I mean the weight of that.
And he went all the way to, oh my gosh, why can't I think of where he made his weapon?
Oh, right, where Peter Dinklage was.
Yeah. Mandalore? No. I can't think of it. Whatever, off the top of my head.
With the dying star or whatever.
Yeah, so like seeing all that, winning through all that, coming back, almost having him, losing everybody, like was just this deep scene. And then it just kind of was like 5 years later. And that, I didn't know how I was going to feel about that when I
loved that.
But it immediately came up and I was like...
I feel like the fact that they did that, because I feel like the Avengers, they always win.
Yeah.
They always, like, in their mind, too, they're like, we're the Avengers. We're going to go out and do it. We're going to, like, beat the bad guy. And then for them, for 5 years, in their hearts and their minds, to know that they can't do anything.
And they failed.
To change it, like and that they failed. Done. I feel like it's probably a feeling that they don't ever feel. Or maybe have never felt.
And that's where I felt, and, being a little critical of the movie is... it was a little slow, the first act, especially now seeing it a couple more times, but it really sets the pace of being like, we always say that the superhero wins, and it did not feel like that in the last movie and in this. Like, they carried it over really well, and like, especially with Scarlet Witch or Black Widow, Scarlet Joe. Like, you can see in her face, like, she's just done. Like, she's over, like.
Yeah, like that
feeling
scene when
this way.
got all the holograms and she's just like wiped out.
She's totally wiped out. She feels super defeated.
Yeah, and you know what? Where Cap seems a little more positive, like trying to help people, which is who he is.
Yeah, he's the look on the bright side.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I was really excited to see how much Rocket grew in this movie. Like, his character, he was always like cracking jokes and not acting like he cares about anybody. Where this one, he's like out there making sure everybody's okay, like patrolling. Like, it's just unlike his character, and it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, I love Rocket.
Yeah, he was kind of just getting the job done.
Were you upset of how they brought Ant-Man back?
Oh, like the rat just...
Yeah. A lot of
like,
people were like, oh, I thought that
do?
could have been better. And I was like, no, I thought, like, how else would you bring him back?
Because maybe anyone that knew how to bring him back had, like, gone into dust or whatever. Like,
yeah.
But they kind of portrayed it as like this fluke, like 1 in a billion chance or whatever, right? So I think it kind of works out for just this rat to just randomly,
just like super
stepping
random.
all over it,
right?
and
just like hitting the right buttons in the because maybe a rat had like a lot of times in 5 years run over that thing, but just hadn't hit buttons in the right.
I just think it's funny because Ant-Man 2 is probably on the lower level of Marvel movies and numbers-wise, money-wise, that this set up for the biggest movie, because the quantum realm is
what
saved everybody.
Well, I kind of liked that. I liked that Ant-Man was actually the one that came back and was the reason why they were able to do it, because I love
able to do what? A time heist.
Yes.
They really like that saying in the movie.
Yeah,
time heist.
Yeah, I feel like the way they did the time travel was cool, and I liked how when they talked about time travel in like other movies, they're like, "That's not how it works."
Yeah, that was.
Have you seen Bill and Ted's?
Right.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, and
Bill and Ted's. Quantum Leap.
Yeah, Terminator. Yeah, and then he named off one that
you didn't know.
Yeah, and one that didn't work, and he was like, maybe not that.
Oh,
one.
Didn't he say Die Hard?
Die Hard. He said Die Hard.
That doesn't work. Yeah. But I thought that was cool. I like how, he started freaking out when he saw his daughter. That was really crazy. But it was just very emotional, that first act, and I was kind of caught off guard by all of that. So it was really cool. But getting into the second act, where you kind of like see them starting to assemble the team and
like go back in time or whatever.
Yeah, well, not even that, like trying to figure out Tony, and trying to get him. It was cool seeing him with his daughter, and
totally.
like
he's got his
the whole thing,
family, nice little house on the lake,
which was funny. I don't know if I should do it and just bury it. It's like no.
Yeah, he was never. Pepper Potts knew anyway. It was like you're never gonna be able to do that.
His daughter was super cute. Like, that was funny.
So cute.
But what'd you think? Obviously, the biggest thing that I can't believe they kept a secret was Fat Thor.
Oh my God.
That was
honestly,
great.
I mean, as hot as Chris Hemsworth is, he's still hot as Fat Thor, and also I never thought they would keep him fat the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I totally thought they were gonna have like a montage of him like getting in shape or something.
Yeah,
like some kind
like
of
a Rocky
90s
montage or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And but they didn't, and I thought it was really cool that he kept him fat the whole time.
Yeah, like even in the end, in like the last battle scene, he's
Yeah,
like
he's
suited
still
up, but he's
fat.
still
Yeah,
rocking the
he's
gut.
fat.
It's like, yeah.
Well, I was mad. There was some article where these people are mad. They're saying, I thought we were past fat shaming.
Oh,
like how
God.
they're making fun of him. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, you're going to nitpick that? Like, it was just this funny thing that he looked like the dude, and like...
Yeah. And I don't even feel like they were fat shaming at all.
No, and they were like, one point they thought he was dead and that his veins were full of cheese whiz. And I'm like, dude...
And I think
it's a
like,
comic book movie. We're trying to have some fun.
It's funny, and also he's a god, so like that's what's so funny about it.
Yeah,
is you wouldn't think a god would get fat.
No, and he was like, when Rocket's like, you look like melted ice cream.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, for being fat, he still had like a shape of a 6-pack, which was pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember. You know his friend that's like the stone guy.
Yeah,
big guy.
What's his name?
On the couch.
Effing love that guy.
Good job bleeping yourself. I'm proud of you, especially being your second time on the show.
Self bleep.
It's
a self bleep.
Korg.
Oh, is it? I love that guy. He's just so.
He's like,
the
hey,
way
it's
he
that
talks,
guy. He's being mean to me
like
again.
his just like sweetness or whatever. I don't know, man. I could honestly take so much more of that guy.
We don't say that name.
No, we don't. We don't say that name.
Don't do that.
There's no.
Polite. You know, nice.
There's no password
Stern,
on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Grab some pizza.
Yeah, he's just so cute. I feel like I could take so much more of him. I want him to be in the new Guardians. With
What
Thor.
does he say in Ragnarok? You're the new Ted.
Oh, I don't know.
Remember, he's like, I started to start a revolution.
Oh
Didn't
yeah.
print out enough
That's
pamphlets.
right. Yeah.
Okay, new Ted.
I love him. Anyway, so Fat Thor was awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they didn't have more. Like they kind of stayed in Asgard, which was surprising. But it was really weird. They gave a lot of screen time to War Machine, which was crazy.
Why? Just because he's just like super secondary?
He's just been like a back character for a long time, and Nebula got a huge push in this movie.
She did.
And I think she's awesome. I love Nebula.
She played what, 2
As a character, or like what? Like what do you like about her?
Yeah, maybe it's just like her
Like her
costume and
arc,
everything.
or like.
I mean, I just like watching her. I think
Okay.
her just like her makeup is super cool, and I think that
It's like the lack of like emotion. With
totally.
her. And
Exactly.
like that beginning scene when they're playing the little flick football.
Oh yeah, she's so
like,
funny.
that's fun,
It's
right?
almost
It's like
like
we're having
Drax
fun,
a little
you know?
bit, right? Because like she doesn't get it, you know. And also she was so evil.
Yeah. See, I'm more of a Gamora fan of the two of them.
Love Gamora, obvious.
Yeah, that could, so that
But
takes us
I
down
get
another
it.
road.
She is funny for that, like comedic kind of like
where she doesn't get it.
regiment.
Yeah.
But so yeah, then they pretty much get the team together. They figure out how to time travel. What do you think of Hulk?
I liked Hulk. Professor Hulk, I guess, is what.
Yeah.
Like he's going back.
So in the comics, he's able to control it, and they combined as one. And he talks about in the movie.
But so when he does control himself, does that physically kind of make him smaller? Because he seemed smaller.
He did. He didn't seem like the massive.
He didn't seem huge. I mean, he's huge in the other ones. And is it kind of him controlling himself actually physically does make him smaller?
What's hard in the comics is you never really know how strong Hulk is, because as he gets hit, he just gets stronger and stronger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
That kind of makes sense then if he's has a smaller presence.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was cool seeing him like that, but at the same time, you didn't get that Hulk
You're totally right.
where he just
miss out on
destroys
like
stuff.
You also want you almost
like
want to have the Professor Hulk because it was super funny to see it.
Yeah.
But then like maybe when they're fighting to see Hulk get crazy.
Well, and especially because in Ragnarok you get that him just destroying stuff, and in Avengers, and in this he's kind of like over it, and it's like it's not as much fun like seeing him just go crazy. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering if you guys think, and this is just me thinking out loud, is I think it's Mark Ruffalo that plays Hulk wants a role.
Yeah, because he's just screaming, right?
Yeah, and that's it.
I mean, that makes sense.
But he got a big role in Infinity War. Wasn't even
because
Hulk
he was barely the Hulk.
Yeah, he was Bruce Banner.
I feel like, like I said, I just feel like it would have been nice. I think it was super funny, but it would have been nice to just have that. It's almost like when Cap, like in Infinity War, never had his shield. Like to me, I'm just like, I need him to have his shield. It's almost like I just need Hulk to kind of like be Hulky a little bit.
Right, because there wasn't really a point in the movie. Well, he kind of did in the end, but...
Did he?
In the last battle scene,
okay.
I felt
he didn't
like,
get like hyper crazy like he has in the past. But yeah, I mean,
I kind of can't remember Hulk in the last scene. Like, did he have the suit on or anything, or he was just Hulk?
No, he was just Hulk. He was in he wasn't like just in the cutoff shorts like he usually is in the comics.
Okay. I kind of can't even remember him in the last scene.
But see, that's just it. Like he didn't have that mark. He reminded me of like Iron Man or Thor in the movies, where he's like interacting with people, kind of being funny and like taking selfies.
I think you're totally right. I bet anything Mark Ruffalo wanted Probably just to act a little more.
It just sucks because I feel like for the hardcore Hulk fans, they were upset by that.
Yeah.
Because he does play a part where he just goes crazy. And one of my favorite parts in Avengers is when it's Hulk standing next to him.
Yeah.
And he just punches Thor, and Thor just goes like, flying. Like.
Or there's like in one movie where someone's like, oh, we have something. And like, I think Loki or somebody's like, oh, well, we have the Hulk.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, rah. Like,
well, that happens in Endgame. You remember? He's like, we have the Hulk. When he goes to like stab Thanos, and he goes to like stab him, he's like, but we have the Hulk. And that's when he goes to fight Thanos, and he's looking like he's getting, he's beating him up, and then he gets whooped.
Right.
But my favorite was in Infinity War, where he was like, come on, dude, like, go. And Iron Man's telling him, and he's like, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizard. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, he just like couldn't get
that was funny.
Mode.
But
I feel like
going back into all the we don't have to go into every single scene when they went back in time, but my favorite, and I want to talk about from the movie event and this Thursday night when they showed the original Avengers pan screen.
Circle.
Yeah, dude, like
when they were in New York.
Everybody erupted on Thursday night. I'm surprised it didn't get a bigger pop on Saturday, but that brought back so many memories.
Such an iconic.
Yes.
Every time I watch the Avengers and they do that scene, I literally tear up.
Yeah, and everybody talks about that scene from all of these movies. Like, oh, dude, when are we going to get that pan shot?
Yeah.
And for them to go back and touch on that, I thought that was super cool. Mm-hmm. I loved that Iron Man got to talk to his dad.
Mm-hmm.
I had a feeling something was going to happen when Cap saw his...
Oh, yeah. Well, he got to see her. Thor got to see his mom.
Right. Yeah, but now when he got the hammer, did you have any idea of what was going to happen with it?
When he got the hammer?
Back
Thor?
in past. So in the past, he goes back, he gets the hammer. Did you have any idea what was going to come out of that?
No.
I had a slight, like I had kind of known, and obviously Cap gets the hammer.
What, so you had read something? Or
no, in the comics, there's, he is able to wield the hammer. And so when I saw it, I was like, no way. Like,
okay.
I
knew what was coming.
I had literally, because one, I don't read the comics.
Yeah.
And, I had kind of like forgot about that whole thing where Captain America had like kind of moved it a little bit.
Which I thought was cool that they went back to that. There's rumors that I believe why he was able to wield it now is because he told Tony that he knew that Bucky killed his parents, that Bucky killed Iron Man's parents.
Oh.
So that was off his chest. He was finally able to wield Mjolnir.
Oh.
And when that happened... That might
when
be...
he got the hammer, oh my God, dude.
I
knew you were steamy. Like
I jumped up out of my seat
you
and
totally
Goat made fun of me.
On
like
Thursday for sure.
Yeah, on Thursday he straight up jumped out.
Yeah.
He was
like, steamy.
Dude, and every time I've gone to that movie afterwards, I clapped and I laughed. The theater I went to on Sunday was mad quiet. I did not care. When when Cap got that hammer, I was like... Yes! And I started like screaming.
Yeah, you really did.
So like seeing that was super awesome. And I just was blown away. And seeing him where he swings it and just uppercuts him.
Oh, yeah. No, that was super amazing.
Oh my God, it was so good.
And then I loved between him and Thor when they like Cap maybe had the axe. And,
oh yeah.
And then he wanted
like,
to switch.
Swap.
He's like, no, I want the bigger one.
But this, I feel like hands down now for me, Captain America is the best Avenger of all time. Because that scene where Thanos is beating him down, his shield's broken, and he's just on the ground dirty, and you just see him like in agony, and he just stands up.
Still gets up.
And tightens the buckle, and there's that.
And gets up.
That wide shot.
The wide shot where it's just him.
And that whole army behind him, and he's just
and
like...
it's just him, and he is literally... Captain America is still going to fight.
Yeah, because he
no matter what.
But why didn't Thanos just kill him right there, It's like, what happened to Thanos right there?
Oh, like why he gave him a chance? Yeah,
he just like totally whoops him down. He beats him down. The shield's busted. He's on the ground, like... It's finishing time, and then, okay, where's Thanos? What happened?
But he didn't have the stones either. He didn't have the stones at that point.
Oh, Thanos?
Yeah, so he's just like, what do you got?
Well, and maybe
Well,
he wanted just
his
like the
sword
weight
got-
of like he had all this army and he wanted like everything
And
to
he
be crashing
knew,
down.
And
Okay.
anyways, he had no idea. Like he already had Cap beat, and he knew he had Cap beat.
And that's the thing too. I feel like Thanos sometimes he's not necessarily just wants to murder people.
No, he's actually a really
you know,
nice
like
man.
so maybe he just felt like, okay, I got him down.
It's over.
It's over, dude.
And he knows
Just
it's
lay
over.
down.
But
Yeah.
Cap refuses to give up.
100%.
And when he tightens it up, and then
Yes.
you hear like, Steve, Cap, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god. And then and
And you
it
see
was
that little like orange.
when the Russo brothers thought of this was phenomenal, and I loved they did so many callbacks. But when you hear on your left,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
totally.
oh my gosh! And you just see the portals open, and this is where I wanted to get to. You see all these characters
Everybody's
come in.
back.
Right.
There is a part where all right, so when Star-Lord and Spider-Man, all them come back as
Yeah.
one, right? Well, when the rest of the people that are in the Guardians crew, like from Yondu's like kind of like ship and stuff, if you look at the bottom right of your screen, guess who they put in there as a cameo? And he's been in the Marvel movies before, and he's just had small pieces, but Howard the Duck.
I heard that.
I
yeah.
heard that. And
But I didn't see it. I
didn't see it either.
You blink, you miss him, and it's right on the right, and like you got to be looking in that direction or you'll miss it.
Okay.
But
that's
I
why I
saw
wanna
it
see
the
again.
third time, so I had to
Okay.
look.
I totally heard that, and I'm like,
This is when they come back, like right before the battle.
Yeah, the sling
Yeah.
when all the people are walking through the portals.
yeah,
Okay.
through the portal.
But you
I thought
got
it
to
was in
look on the
very
right
ending
corner.
scene.
okay.
No.
Okay.
You got to look in the
yeah,
right
I was
corner.
like
thinking in
he's
the
there
wrong place.
fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh yes.
So now that we have a woman on the show, my sissy, I wanted to ask you. A lot of people have given it crap. The whole woman, where the glove comes up and Iron Man gives it to Captain Marvel, and they were like, we got her, and it's the whole cast, all the girls.
The thing is, okay, this is my opinion on it. It's pandering 100%, but whatever, It's like it's fine because it's like there's no way that like all the girls just happen to be right there to like escort her, and also she doesn't need an escort because she's Captain Marvel.
Right.
But my
But
thing
it's
is,
just like whatever. It's fun
It
to
was a
see
girl power
all
moment.
just like the badass ladies. Are we allowed to say that word?
yeah, as long as you don't say the F word.
Oh, okay. Just the
Which
ladies
is
together
Flan's
walking.
bomb. That's the F
Oh.
word. Flan's bomb.
Fudge is like all the ladies walking. I mean, the thing is like it is just cool to see. And for some people, it's going to be like, oh, that whatever, or it's like forced or something. But whatever, it's just fun to see them all together.
My thing of where I try to look at it as is imagine being a girl that's 10, 11,
Exactly.
seeing it for the first time, and she's like, that's my favorite character. Maybe not Captain Marvel, but it's, maybe it's, like just one of the girl, like, what's her name? Why can't I think of her name? Of Asgard,
Oh yeah, the
Valkyrie?
the
Valkyrie or any of them of being like, no, that's my character, and seeing all the girls, it's like that's for them, and it's 5 seconds.
Well, and
you know
that's what
what
I
I mean?
think
Like,
that
Like,
I
just
feel
let-
like so many hardcore fans always forget is like it's like comic books, stuff like this. This is meant to. It's
for
meant
everybody.
For everybody, and if you're gonna like show it to kids, you're gonna get kids involved. You're gonna get anyone involved. It's like. It's meant to be like a feel good, like feel empowered, pick who you relate to best. That's what it's about.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about like, oh, is this the best movie that was ever made, and like the writing or the way they do it. It's like it's meant to give you
Find a
these
connection with
feelings.
the character.
Yeah, to have these connections and have these feelings. And the way we may feel about like when we see Captain America's shield or whatever, people have different, like you're saying, different characters, and to have all the girls together like that was cool.
Yeah.
I was like, heck yeah.
Now, jumping forward, what I wanted to ask, who cried?
I definitely cried.
I cried. When Iron Man snaps and he goes, I am Iron Man, like, that, like, didn't get me yet, but I was so, like, moved by it because, like, you finally, hold on, back up real fast, sorry.
Oh, shoot.
When Cap says, Avengers Assemble. Oh my god. I was so steamy. Yeah. Like I was just like, oh my god, I've been waiting for that for so long. And it's just everybody
start leaking.
Like I was just like overwhelmed with steaminess.
Yeah.
But you get to Iron Man, he snaps, he's like, I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
And that part where he's sitting there and like just looking at everybody and you see like Spider-Man and all this kind of stuff, like it's so emotional. And like, this is going to probably be the deepest thing I've ever said on Hardly Heroes. And it's going to be really kind of crazy. But Michelle kind of made fun of me. Is Michelle's like, why did you you were crying. Like I was like full on tears were like rolling down like really bad. And I'll never forget, it was really crazy, was one of my aunts that I was really close with growing up. She had battled cancer for like 26 years. And I was there when she finally like gave her last breath. And I'll never forget it because the lady, their really good friend, a family friend of ours, said, it's okay. You can go now. We're okay. And when Pepper says that to him, it brought me back to that moment. Right. And I just started like bawling. And she was just like, like, it's okay. You can go. And it was like, we're safe. I was just like,
Waterworks.
And I'm like crying like crazy. But it was like, I never thought I would get that emotionally hooked in a movie. And I talked to one of our friends, Nick. If you know deep cuts of Hardly Heroes, Nick. And he talks about that's what happened to him in Guardians 2. It's like they're so good at like pulling stuff that means so much to us and that can pull you in moments. And just for that moment alone that I can remember something in that magnitude is crazy that they can do that.
They can do that to you.
Yeah, and I think that's so cool. And it like brought me back to that and just, it was just a cool thing. But seeing all that and seeing, him snap his fingers, like I really didn't think, like I knew it was going to be him that was going to die.
I didn't really know. I felt like I knew that Cap or Iron Man was going to die because there's no way, like one of them had to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And it totally makes sense that it was Iron Man.
Yeah. Right. He's the one that kicked it off.
He's the one who kicked it off. And then, with Doctor Strange, kind of saying like there was one thing, and then wasn't there like Doctor Strange kind of looked at him and like put up like, one finger?
Is it.
Yeah,
So I was like, he's gonna die. But it's like it had to happen.
What do you think of
it's for the greater good? I mean, you think of everybody,
and that's the way he would want to die. Anyway.
Oh yeah. And what do you think of the funeral? That was whew. And then I didn't know the kid in the back. That's the kid from Iron Man 3. The first time I missed that.
Well, the thing is I've never seen Iron Man 3. So I was like, who is that?
It's bad.
And also when Pepper Potts showed up in her uniform, I guess rescue? That happens in Iron Man 3. So I was all confused with that. I was like, oh, she just put on a suit and she knows how to use it. But I guess she learned.
Yeah, that was sweet. But yeah, and then Cap missing his jump point and staying, like...
Honestly, originally I kind of had like an issue with old Cap.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like it wrapped it up too much. Logan didn't agree with me, but...
See, I liked it because he had always talked about how he loved her and missed that.
Well, I guess what I would want more is the insinuation that happened, not you actually seeing old Cap. Like him just never coming back and then you just assuming or them showing him maybe with her at young and then you're like, oh, he lived out his life, but not him coming back as an old man.
Yeah, but he shows him dancing with his,
No, I know. I'm saying I would have preferred that he just like disappeared. Maybe they like show you something that just like, okay, he stayed back like there with her, but not him coming back as an old man.
Yeah, you don't want to imagine your superhero as some old man.
I liked it.
That's kind of how I felt. I was like, I just didn't want to see him old, and also, I just.
There's rumors that they're going to do a movie of Captain America going back and putting the Infinity Stones back.
I wouldn't mind that.
That would be good.
So
I've had some people be like, "Oh, are they going to make like Captain America movies now with Falcon?"
Yeah.
Are they?
No, they're making a show with him and Bucky.
Okay.
So it's going to be on Disney Plus.
Okay, because I was going to say, I was like, I can't imagine them making actual like full-length movies with.
They might, but I don't know.
But I just feel like there's so much more, right?
Well, and they have a lot on the docket, and
almost like how much. I don't feel like I could 100% get behind.
Yeah, I can't.
That guy is Captain America.
Exactly.
When
It's
you,
like,
I already have a
I'm
Captain
sorry,
America.
Yeah.
Like I have one, and I don't need another one personally.
I haven't bought in yet either.
I don't know yet. You haven't seen him as Cap yet, so
That's true. But
He does
come
have
on,
the shield, so we'll see.
You
what
never
happens.
know.
you guys saw Cap with the beard. Come on,
Yeah,
hot.
I like him clean shaven.
Is that
What?
America's
Come on.
ass?
That
my
was hilarious.
Sir, do you
That is America's ass.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
No, did you see what Chris Pratt dropped on Instagram?
The video?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
of
saw
everybody
that. I
together.
saw
He's like,
that.
this is totally illegal.
Yeah.
But after that, so, that's the end of our Endgame rant. But now they had dropped the Far From Home Spider-Man, which everybody was wondering where it takes place. And it takes place after Endgame.
Right, and they give you a warning.
Yeah, which was
because
cool.
they're like, don't watch
Tom
this if
Holland
you haven't.
does that.
Right, because it completely spoils it because it lets you know that Iron Man died.
Yeah, and it was really kind of cool. Like he's, out in London, I believe is where
Yeah, he goes
is.
on like a school trip.
Yeah, and
Right.
Nick Fury's, in there,
Shows
and he's
up in his
like,
room.
Oh, that's right. Nick
yeah,
Fury.
and he's like, I don't want to be the next, like they need the next Iron Man, and he just doesn't want to be it.
Well, yeah, he just wants to be a kid. He said he wants to like hang out with the girl that he has a crush on.
Yeah, and it's the villain is, I believe, Mysterio.
Okay, yeah, I don't really. That's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
Right.
Wait, is Jake Gyllenhaal
yeah.
the evil guy?
No,
I don't know if he's in it.
Because
Definitely.
in the trailer, like Jake Gyllenhaal and Spider-Man are like talking.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't you have like Hydra is in there or something?
Oh.
I don't know. We'll see. I think it's Hydra.
Well, I also had a question. Like, are they trying to just find someone that's going to be like Iron Man, or they're saying like we want someone to put on the Iron Man suit and be Iron
I think
Man?
more to like
they're-
fill the shoes.
Fill
Right?
the shoes. But yeah,
Okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal is playing Mysterio.
Okay, and he's a bad guy.
No, he's a good guy. So he's from like an alternate universe.
Right. Okay. Right.
Because the quantum realm was what they're saying is mess some stuff up.
Okay.
So we'll see kind of where it's going to go from here. I am really excited to see kind of the aftermath of it all.
Yeah. No, that's totally true because they'll touch on that. Right.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it was like not what I had expected. I thought it was going to be, I literally thought it was going to be, remember how he's on the bus in Infinity War? I thought that's where it was going to end, was him on that bus, and then Infinity War would start.
Oh, right.
But they started from the beginning, which was crazy. But so now that has happened, and we're kind of like in phase 4 now, there's a couple movies on the docket that they have. So Far From Home comes out in July. And then after that is Black Widow. Even though looks like she's dead, this is a prequel.
Okay, so it's going to be like where she came from.
Yeah.
Like an origin.
Yeah, an origin
Love
movie.
a good origin story.
Eternals, I don't know anything about that.
I watched a video today because when you sent me that Spider-Man trailer, I started
Yeah.
watching like Marvel clips, and they were talking about the Eternals. It almost looked like from the cartoon that Iron Man was in it, or someone that looks like Iron Man. Do you know? You don't know anything?
I don't
about
know anything about that. Like,
It seems like a group of superheroes together.
and then Black Panther 2 comes out in 2021, February again, and then they're saying in May that Nova is going to come out, which is a really cool character. Then you got Doctor Strange 2 in November. Then you got Captain Marvel 2, Guardians 3 in 2022.
Yeah.
So real quick before you go on, Captain Marvel 2, like are they like releasing anything about that? Like, is it just going to keep, because the first one was like back in time.
I think it's
Do you think they're going to go from like after?
Yeah, so
Endgame?
I think what they're hoping, and this is just me being skeptical, is that Captain Marvel is going to be the new leader of the Avengers
Instead of
Take us into the
Iron
fourth
Man?
quarter.
instead of Iron Man or Ant-Man or Black Panther. So if you were to pick, let's throw this out here. If you had to pick Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, or Ant-Man to be the leader of the Avengers, who would you pick?
I mean,
the only reason why I say that is because they're the 4 that are pretty much from Earth. You know what I mean? And you're not going to say Thor. You're not going to say Star-Lord. They're kind of off on their own. And
also, are they not doing, like, is Thor and Captain America, are they, like, just as, like, in movies and being the Avengers, are they kind of, like, phased out?
So what happened, what we just found out is Chris Hemsworth had just signed a contract. We don't know what the extent is, but he pretty much told Disney, I want to stay on as Thor, but I don't want to do standalone movies. I want to do cameos and buddy cop films.
Love it.
Team ups.
Yes.
So like I'm guessing he's in Guardians 3.
He's totally in Guardians 3.
Yeah.
There's no way he's not.
Right. Yeah, and I think that would be really fun for that character. I know Iron Man wanted to stick around, but he is really expensive. You know what I mean? And he is the king. And I know Chris Evans is done playing Cap.
Oh, he is?
Like, he had said, like, he wants to not be so involved.
Oh, right.
Which I think that movie, if he comes back, I could see it.
Well, and it almost seems like, you know, Chris Hemsworth as Thor gets to have a little bit more fun than Chris Evans does.
Yeah.
So the actor might want to maybe branch out a little more and do something.
Well, and you think about it, he's been doing superhero movies forever because he was Torch in Fantastic Four as well.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? So he's done a lot of these, and he is a funny guy. Like, you see him in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
He's super funny.
Like, he's done a lot of funny stuff. So I was going to say, out of those 4, who would you want as your leader?
I mean, I wouldn't mind Black Panther.
That's who my pick would be, actually.
Because Captain Marvel, she's cool, but...
I really like Doctor Strange, but I don't know if he could...
I don't know. I feel like he
That's
could do
my
it.
pick, yeah.
Okay, Doctor Strange.
See, I love Doctor Strange, and I know a lot of people are like, I
love Doctor Strange.
I love his movie. I think his movie's awesome. I can't wait for his second one.
Yeah, I like his...
Because now his
demeanor.
power is so much stronger,
Mm-hmm.
and especially with all this camaraderie and seeing who comes in and out. So,
does he, like, is the Supreme Leader, like, is that just one person, or does, like, someone become the Supreme Leader? Like, does he become the Supreme Leader?
Yeah, so she even says it. She's like, he is supposed to be the best of us.
I see. Okay.
She says that in Endgame.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
There's always a Supreme Leader, but she's like, he is the best of us. That's why she gives up the stone.
Right.
And a lot of people had a hard time with that. And somebody else asked me, and, you know, if it's, you know, if you didn't know this, you know, maybe this will help. But, like, my buddy was like, how was Thanos able to push and mess with the axe that Thor has? And I'm like, that doesn't have Odin's chant on it, that only if you're worthy you'd be able to wield it, because it was just made as a weapon. That's why anybody is able to pick up the axe.
Okay.
But the, you know, the actual Mjolnir is...
Right, he
Odin
like
put a
whispers
spell
to it.
on it.
Remember? Oh, I just watched a Thor movie.
Yeah, so Odin put a spell on it saying, you know, only worthy are you allowed to wield it. That's why in Thor 1, when he's trying to pull it, he can't get it.
Oh, in Thor 1.
Yeah, and he's like flipping out. But that's why. Because some people are like, I don't get it.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, and I'm glad you said that, because that actually explains.
Some good knowledge right there. That was deep.
I know some stuff.
Yeah.
What can I say?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Jadat.
Sanctioned.
But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my stuff on the Marvel movies and where we're at. I mean, I know we spent most of the episode talking about that, but
it was due though.
Yeah, it was definitely due.
We had to get
I'm
that
glad
out.
we got to spoil it up.
Well,
It's
you know,
been
so
pinned
now
up
that
for a while.
I'm on the show, now that I have a microphone, this was a
so this is permanent?
Probably a big mistake for you guys to give me a microphone, because I will not let go now. What's up? You know, so for new listeners, or a lot of listeners probably, they've maybe heard my name. I've been around, but I've literally been listening to the show since the get. I'm obviously very involved because I'm Buddy's sister and Groot's girlfriend. Yeah. So I'm kind of like...
I like how she won't call him dad.
No.
She's all refused that.
So Logan, Groot, dad, Logan, whatever, he made a joke because, you know, he's dad and you're my brother. So he's like, you're kind of like sister mom. And I'm like...
Right.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
It sounds too close to sister wives.
Although sister wife, that sounds like a pretty good gig. You know, you kind of split the responsibilities of the marriage. Anyway.
Merge. Don't get any ideas.
I'll say, so, I've been listening for a long time.
Yeah,
I've been around.
Shmee is my sister, you know what I mean? She's been around from the beginning.
From the beginning, I go to all the events. So, like, if you've been to any of the events, I'm sure you've met me. A lot of people know me out there. Goat, Bird, whatever.
You do Birdie and Bean.
Birdie and Bean is my company that I run with our other sister.
Yes.
So I'm super involved. Yes. Annoyingly, probably, to a lot of people. Annoyingly involved. So,
Mostly
I listen to the show a lot, and I just have some ideas. Now that you've put a microphone in my face, I have some ideas.
Oh, no.
And I just want to say, as much as I love Dilly, Dawn Dillard Skillard.
Wait, okay.
Oh, no. She's a push and mush, by the way.
Push and mush? Okay, I like that.
She's a push and mush. Like,
Dilly, he literally made that up.
I did.
He made it. That doesn't even exist.
In Chicago.
He thinks I'm a pushover.
She is.
I'm not. You know what? You said I'm a pushover because I was nice and took your jacket when we're at the Natural History Museum.
It is
that
true.
Is not
she was like, "I'm not."
That is being polite.
I told him I wasn't going to hold it,
Yeah,
and then he like broke me down, and then started talking crap that I was a pushover. I'm like, excuse me.
I coined the phrase "push and mush."
You should probably definitely
coin that.
Yeah,
that's
like
a push
TM,
and mush. Yeah.
Trademark
push and mush.
Push and mush.
So anyway, I have some.
Carry on.
So Dilly. Yes. I feel like you're not nerdy enough.
Oh.
Honest to God.
Oh, okay. Like
yes,
we are the podcast.
Elaborate.
We are the podcast of TV, movies, and everything geek related. And I just, I have this kind of idea of you needing to be nerdy. Like you almost need to level up in your nerdiness.
Yes.
Okay.
You need to level up. So I feel like, I don't have this whole thing like figured out, but I feel like there some kind of segment or something about Dilly nerding up.
Well, okay. Like I'm down.
So like, hold on. So like nerd up?
I will nerd up.
He needs to nerd up.
You need to nerd up?
I will nerd up. But if I nerd up, I'm going to probably need you to probably bro down.
What?
Yeah. And do some bro type activities.
Some bro stuff.
If I'm not, nerdy enough. I will get nerdy enough.
I like it. I like
it.
But you have to bro down.
So let me be the mediator of all this. So Dilly's got to nerd up, and then Sheilah's got to bro down. So
that's what just happened. Yeah.
So what we're talking about is there's going to be like levels to this nerdiness and broness.
Because I've like barely thought about it, but I'm loving this edition of the bro down because I kind of was just feeling like I was going to give Dilly like some tasks that could possibly give him points that would help him level up in his nerdiness.
Sure.
So I'm loving this bro down, and I feel like you're
that.
involved in this too, buddy.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm down if I'm allowed in this competition of the bro down and nerd up.
Sure.
I'd love to do both
because actually I think Buddy's kind of a good mix of he's obviously a nerd.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
But he's got some bro
but
in
he's
him.
Kind of cool
He's
a little
broy.
bit. He's kind of cool.
A little
bit.
A little. Actually, I'm really cool. I'm like the coolest person on this show right now. Don't know if you guys know this. I'm the Red Ranger. So if
he
that's
was knighted
not
in a parking lot,
bro,
I have no idea
Shmee
if that's official.
If that's not King,
I'm
bro.
looking into it. I'm asking. I'm going to see some Power Rangers actually this weekend. At the Meadowlark Comic-Con.
Oh, I'm jealous.
And I'm going to ask them if that's even official enough for you to be considered a ranger.
I hope so.
I'm very curious to see what they might
back to this nerd up, bro down.
Bro down.
Wait, I like
bro
that.
Down.
Nerd up, bro down.
That's got a nice ring to it.
It does. I like it.
I like that idea.
So are we going to, you're going to give him something to nerd up about and he'll give you something to bro down? Or is it 1 week you tell him to nerd up and then the next week he gives you something to bro down?
Well, I think I like it. Like if there is a challenge, because it can go either way. Like if Dilly comes up with something where he's like, oh, I feel like you need to bro down on this, then I need to come up or like I need to come back with a challenge of a nerd up.
With the nerd up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's always like a reciprocal, like if you're doing one, then I'm doing the other.
Okay.
And I feel like there needs to be a chart. Like
oh yes.
With like tiers and ladders
and
like little fluffy magnets that we can.
Well, and I definitely feel like he needs that because you know how he's always talking about his like gaming points or whatever. Like he needs to see that he's actually
he needs
leveling
a chart.
up.
Yeah.
I need to see progress.
Yeah.
What happens if, let's just throw it out there, what if somebody takes on the challenge but doesn't commit?
and they don't do it.
Yeah, there's going to have to be a fine or something's got to happen.
Well, yeah, there's always repercussions.
Right.
Yes.
You lose point. I mean, we need to figure out the point.
I don't even know
system.
if it'd be a point of maybe like you have to like contribute something or something's going to have to. We'll have to table this. But sidekicks, if you have anything of nerding up or broing down, let us in, or maybe even a kind of an idea of a punishment. That if you don't nerd down or bro up.
Or even like a theme, like maybe a category, like maybe we can say like this week on Nerd Up, Bro Down, it's going to be like movies, TV. Mm-hmm. So if you guys have like ideas, something that,
but
something nerdy that we want
that is definitely the name
Sheilah
of the segment.
To like a UFC event with a square build hat and like a
100%
tap-out shirt
a flat bill.
Yes.
with a Schlitz mount ice.
Have to wear a flat bill.
But it's got to be like to the
Tilted.
side.
Yeah, like tilted, snapback. Like,
right.
With
I need to see neck tattoos.
With a PBR, with a PBR in your hand.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
So yeah, good things to come.
Oh my gosh.
I'm liking this.
I'm already thinking of a nerd up. We're going to make him go to a LARPing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
LARP.
Brother, yes. And we're going to videotape that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
I will LARP.
Yes.
You guys saw the dance moves.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It is there.
Did we talked about that before, but that was amazing. His just
totally. Yeah.
Little dance. But I'm really excited for this segment. I think that's super cool. Good job, Shmee, on that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, good call.
Really, sidekicks, get back to us with that kind of information and tell us what you guys think about it. If you have any ideas of nerd up or maybe a bro down, I think this would be a lot of fun. We're going to kind of work on our end on, I guess, the parameters of all of this.
100% we have to figure
There's
it out.
some things we need to work through.
And I feel that Dad would be a good person of like
mediator or someone to keep score.
Yeah, I need to see like a flow chart first.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's the type of person that already knows how to do that.
Right.
I kind of feel what'd be kind of funny is like there can even be like something you get when you reach a certain level of broness or a certain level of nerdiness where it's like, I bequeathed this to you.
Yeah, no, that's good. Or like a trophy or something.
Yeah.
Or something like broy and something nerdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll think about this. I'm actually
we would love your ideas.
I'm very steamed up about this. This might be one of my favorite things we've done on the show ever. And I like the name. Nerd up and bro down.
Yes.
Like that sounds
totally.
We might have to get a little sound clip.
Yeah.
Might have to reach out to James and get him on the soundboard of being like nerd up and
bro down.
Brother James.
Brother James.
Brother James. Brother James.
Brother James.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Very excited.
Yeah, me too.
I
want to ask
if
we can talk about, now that there's somebody in the room finally that can speak about Game of Thrones.
GTO.
The GOT.
I got.
The GOT.
I got.
You got this?
Whenever I see it, I'm just like, gat. I don't know why it says it. I feel it in that voice.
Gat. Where I've been.
Do you wait, Dilly? You don't watch it?
I do a little bit.
That you can't. Okay, I'm sorry.
I've tried to watch it.
I'm sorry. You either watch it or you don't watch it, Dilly. You don't kind of watch Game of Thrones. You literally don't.
Like I do my own thing and then I see it out the corner of my eye. Sometimes.
That's upsetting.
You know what? I'm 100% just dismissing.
I watched the last episode. I know about Danny.
Nerd him up.
I saw when she got the dragons. I know about the cheese whiz getting poured on the dude's head. Like I've seen it.
I was gold, but okay.
Oh, the cheese. Oh, the.
Well, I know it was gold, but I know some things.
Okay, you do, but it's
so
just
him.
Little baby dragons.
I can't wait till we level him up.
I saw the last episode.
I mean, what if one of those is you have to watch all of Game of Thrones?
That's a big time
Not with
commitment.
a side
there
eye.
better be a large prize at the end of that nerdy road.
That's 8 seasons.
Oh yeah, but it's so
And
enjoyable.
I actually already started. I kind of started going back through and rewatching.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
So what I've been doing is since season 8 has started, I've had a open door policy to anybody that wants to come watch it with us can totally come over and I laugh. I told Sheilah about that at episode 1 of season 8, and she was in episode like 5 or season 5.
Because you told me you were gonna do it, and it was like 2 or 3 weeks before.
Yeah.
The beginning of the season,
and
I was in season 5.
Yeah, and you finally caught up right as season 8, the battle.
The second. So I didn't make it to the second episode because I was almost there.
Yeah. It was the Battle of Winterfell.
Right. So the third episode, I made it over to your house.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe it.
Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, for chicken tacos.
Okay.
A lot of people are upset at this last episode.
You know, the thing is honest to God, I felt like it was kind of boring. I know like some things happened. Like, are we allowed to like say?
Yeah, no.
Like the dragon dying and Missandei getting her head chopped off and everything. And then, who hooked up? Oh, Jaime and Brienne.
Oh, Jaime and Brienne.
So some things definitely happened, but I felt like the thing is
there was a
there needs to be so much more happening every single episode if you're only going to give us 6 episodes.
And there's only 2 episodes
and there's
left.
2 episodes left, and that's the episode you wanted to do?
Not even that. It was very weird, uncharacteristic of a lot of characters. Like, Jon's really good about keeping secrets and keeping his word, and Daenerys like, don't tell them that you're a Targaryen.
Like, don't tell him, right?
And then they tell him, tells his sisters, and they don't show their reactions, which sucked.
No, that totally sucked. But I want to just touch on that real quick. Isn't it when he's talking to Dany, he's like, something. He's like, can't we just like make this work? And she's like, I told you how it will work, which is him not saying anything. But didn't they maybe like not show anything after that? Because did he promise not to say something?
I don't think so.
Did he go against his word? Like,
he said, you're like my queen, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know, but I didn't like that. I thought that was pretty dumb. She's being a baby about all of this and just like, no, I need this. And I need to be in the Iron Throne. And it's like, where's the Dany from season 6 and 7 that was like, I want to leave this world better than how I left it.
Right, and she's just worried about the people.
Yeah, and now she's only worried about getting on the throne.
Just the power, yeah.
Right, because she's not even thinking about like who is going to be the best person on this throne.
And then seeing the wildlings dip out, that was very sad.
You know what's funny is like, I was just kind of watching it. I was like, whatever. But like once you said that, I was like, that is kind of, even though going back, I'm like, I feel like they don't belong there. They went to help Jon Snow fight the White Walkers. And they don't want to be, like I was telling you, they don't want to be ruled by anybody, even if it's Jon Snow.
Yeah,
they don't want a king.
Jon Snow,
they're free people.
Died for them.
But still, they're free people. I don't think it doesn't matter who their king is. They are free people, and they're going to live as free people. And
they're the hippies.
They went and helped him beat the White Walkers, but there was no way they were ever going to stay. I don't think.
And I just feel like a lot of people are staying behind, and it's very weird.
That is kind of weird, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Jaime ditching Brienne.
That was harsh.
He did an old banging go.
That kind of upset me because
he did a bangarang.
Yeah. I can't even get it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Hook. Bangarang.
Oh.
Bangarang.
Oh yeah, but like the Lost Boys.
I couldn't get it out like I wanted to say it, but it made me laugh.
It would have been good.
He did a bangarang?
It would have been good.
So,
but I think anyway, I wanted to go back to that. I think that Jaime is actually
gonna kill
being
Cersei.
more. No, I think he's being more true to actually kind of maybe the person he is. He's not someone that's just always like full of honor. Like when has that ever happened?
No, but
he
just
and
did
he's
a bangarang.
always been kind of.
He loves Cersei.
A P word.
Yeah.
But
he's always done everything for Cersei.
I know, and it's so God.
Oh, what'd you think about what's his name?
Baratheon?
Yeah. Gendry first becoming a Baratheon now, and he proposed to Arya. And she was like, I'm not a lady.
No,
I was like, yes!
I knew she was going to say that. There's
loved it.
No way she would ever stand behind some man.
But it was just good to see her dude, I'm a warrior, and that's what I'll always be. I'm not a lady, and I like that.
And, going back, because, I'm watching season 1 also, or I'm in season 2 now. I've been going back. She's literally said that since the beginning of the season. She's just like, she's never
like, that's
considered herself a
Sansa.
lady. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Sansa. That's not me. That's not who I am.
Also going back to season 1, Sansa is like, she's really grown. And she's super, super badass now. And, she was just a crying little girl in the first season.
I feel her and, what's his name? The Ironborn that just died last.
Theon.
Yeah, her and Theon have probably grown the most as characters.
Yeah.
Like, has always been strong and that kind of stuff. But seeing where Sansa and Theon came from to now.
Yeah.
Totally different characters, but you care about them so much now that I just seeing what Sansa has gone through and who she is now is awesome.
Sansa.
Sansa.
Dickers.
I love Sansa.
Dickers.
You like it, Dickers?
Dickers is Dillard's cat.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
Dee.
He just says
amazing
Dickers
boy.
really
Deeks.
funny.
Yeah. His cat voice is pretty good.
I love him. He's my fur baby.
What do you think, Dickers? But no, I don't know where they go. They only have 2 episodes left.
Well, so what do you think? Like, who? I know that you've got the bets or whatever, but what do you really think is going to happen? Like, who do you really think is going to be on the Iron Throne?
Jon Snow.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be, but I think they'll put him on there unless there's just some crazy.
Some rando.
Yeah, like I did for fun when season 8 started, who I think was Jon Snow with Daenerys at his side. Who I wanted was Tyrion, because Tyrion I've really grown to like. And my wild card was Samwell. Because I hated Samwell in the beginning, but I've grown to love him. I think he is a great character and just showing how far he's come. And how he's just John, you're my best friend. You're the only person that's ever cared about me.
Yeah, they're super
You know what I
cute.
mean? And he never wants to disappoint John. But he even says it. He's I'm afraid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he stands up when he needs to be. And then when the guy from the wall died for him, that was
Yeah.
Is it Ed?
Isn't his name Ed with with 2 D's?
Yeah, you're right.
I watch it with subtitles, so.
Good job. But no, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm just glad we finally got to talk about it because nobody else watches it, so it's really good.
Right.
But yeah, so we'll see. We'll be talking more about it.
Yeah, we'll see
2
as
episodes.
it comes.
But yeah,
2
now
more
that you
episodes.
were on the show, is there anything you would like to tell these nice people, the sidekicks? Now that you're sitting in the chair.
In the chair?
How does it feel to be...
Well, the thing is, it feels good. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's some people who think that, I got this job, nepotism. I know everybody. Maybe I slept my way to the top.
That's what I feel like happened.
I'm sure that Philippe, is going to be I should have been. But,
gosh.
I know people. Okay?
We actually need to pull the name for that. I think we might... I'll talk to Logan. We might do that tonight of who won the sidekick seat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, right. So he had the sidekick takeover?
Yeah.
Some lucky sidekick out there.
He's going to get
Who's
to come in and
be?
sit in with us.
Oh, yeah. So
anyway, yeah, I'm happy to be here. I listen all the time, so it's actually fun to be in here and talk to you guys. Because a lot of times I'm listening to it and I'm yelling things at the... where if you guys forget a Harry Potter name or you guys think something about some movie, I'm what? You're idiots, so it's nice to be in here.
No, I'm glad.
So now I
here.
can just tell you you're idiots to your face.
You're not yelling things like Bird Box or
yeah. I know, right? I was waiting to hear if I heard that.
All right, we're good.
Oh, wow.
I did have something for the prize bin today.
Ooh, is this the first thing?
Is that a little mini thing? Oh, yes.
It's a little mini
Thanos.
Oh, that's
Thanos.
so cute.
So are you ready for how it got? It's a mini Funko Pop of Thanos.
So cute.
So I'm going to throw it in the prize bin. It actually came from Michelle's shirt because I found it in the boys section and it was a Thanos Funko Pop that came with the shirt on the hanger.
Score.
So I bought it for her and I was I'm taking that to put in the prize bin because now we need to replenish.
Right, I was going to say, so has anything been added to
I think the Big Lebowski because of he got called the Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah, that's
thanks
funny.
to HT Sizzle.
Oh, nice. Good pull. That's a good one.
So
You see this little guy?
yeah, he's pretty cool looking.
He's super cute. Wait, so I don't get... remember when I was a guest?
Yeah, but now
do you remember that?
Yeah.
I didn't get anything.
That wasn't when
that's
Captain
your own
Marvel
fault.
came
You know
out,
what?
right?
Maybe I'll just take one of the Birdie and Bean bags.
A whole bag?
Those are so awesome. I love mine.
Good, it's not like you sewed them or anything. Well, yeah, that's all I got. Do you know where they can find us, Shmee?
I do actually know that you can find us on Facebook at Hardly Heroes, Instagram at Hardly Heroes, Twitter at Hardly Heroes.
Number 1.
Yes.
And then YouTube
at Hardly Heroes.
At Hardly Heroes.
And you can email the show at hardlyheroes@gmail.com or just go to hardlyheroes.com and you can email straight from there. Find out anything about the show, all that fun stuff. And go on go on YouTube and watch our promo video. And we will be having the second half of that video coming out soon.
Right.
Our friends at Chris Velasquez at Violet Films is working on it. And for all our listeners in Oregon, Shmee and Logan will be out at Metal Art Comic Con this weekend on Saturday. And
May 11th,
yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
I can't remember. I know a couple of the guests.
So the Power Rangers are Alan Palmer.
Yes, from the Alien Power Rangers from the OG, but it's
the from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There's like a mini series that's called the Mighty Morphin
space.
Alien Rangers. So they're actually like Alien Rangers.
Yes.
And then they're doing a screening of Buck Rogers.
Yes.
And the two, I think, characters from that will be doing like a Q&A after they actually watch the show. We're not sure like what part of the show, because it's like a series. It's like a TV series.
So that's really cool.
And then there's someone from Star Wars, which again, I don't have his name here right this second, but and then another Power Ranger. So it's going to be pretty fun. It's just going to be me and Logan out there.
Are you going to take the red helmet with you?
I think I am, and I'm definitely going to be talking to them let's see if you get the helmet back.
I am the Red
Ranger. Because if you weren't like officially knighted, if they don't agree, then I don't.
Only the Red Ranger can steal it from my cold dead hands. I am the Red Ranger.
It's official. I saw it in the parking lot.
It is sanctioned.
Like, do you pick the Red Ranger because of like the person that the Red Ranger is, or is it because you just like the color?
The person, and I am the leader.
Oh, so the Red Rangers is always the leader.
Yeah, he's the leader
of the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's all I got. Just remember one thing, guys.
Disclaimer: they don't know shit.
You guys have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nobody's got a sign out.